Good day, everyone. Welcome to this Forensic Science lecture series. And in today's episode, we'll be talking about crime scene fingerprint development. The question that we are going to ask today is, what makes a crime scene fingerprint? A crime scene fingerprint are those fingerprints left by the offender at the crime scene, and that what makes it interesting because on the part of the forensic scientist, he needs to look for these Latin prints, develop them, and use it to identify who is the owner of these Latin prints. There are, however, several issues that might arise, whether or not to apply a developing agent or not, the moment that a latent impression is spotted at the crime scene. One thing is for sure, we have to understand the different mechanics or the different types of crime scene fingerprints. The first type that is usually encountered in the crime scene are those types of crime scene fingerprints that are rather indistinct, meaning that they could not be easily recognized using the vision of our naked eyes. It needs a certain degree of development in order for us to visualize them. Taking, for example, this type of crime scene fingerprint known as Latin prints or invisible prints are very hard to detect using our naked eye, and therefore we have to make use of the available lighting condition in order for us to visualize them. So we will visualize them using a technique known as oblique lighting. Another type of crime scene fingerprint that could be encountered in a crime scene is the type that is usually referred to as the plastic prints. The plastic prints are also visible prints, and that they could be found on the crime scene sticking on a soft, malleable materials, such as, for example, in this illustration, we have used a clay to demonstrate a particular type of fingerprint known as the plastic print or the semi-visible print. Another type of crime scene fingerprints are those types of fingerprints that are easily recognizable because the hands of the person who left those fingerprint impression has been smeared with coloring agents, coloring materials for that matter, that includes paint, okay, that includes blood, or basically any material capable of producing coloration. To this illustration, we have a chair that was touched by the hand of a person from which the hand was initially smeared with a paint. And these are basically the types of crime scene fingerprint that could be found at the crime scene. The question now arises, which type should be subject to development? Are all types of crime scene fingerprint require development? The answer to that question is basically no. The type of material, the type of crime scene fingerprints that requires further development are those crime scene fingerprints that could not be seen directly by our naked eye, meaning that we need to apply coloring agent, and in this case, we have different types. It could be in the form of a powder, it could be in the form of applying a chemical, or it could be in the form of applying materials in its gaseous state to develop these Latin prints. But what about the semi-visible print? How about the visible print? Does it require further development? The answer to that question obviously is no, considering the fact that they are already visible. The reason why we are applying developing agent on Latin print is to make them visible. And if they are already visible, then basically there is no further development required. The only thing left for us to do is to document them, using photography or just simply take a photograph of this Latin print and use them later for purposes of court presentation. In the upcoming episodes, we'll be talking about the different types of development. We have the physical development, we have the chemical development, and then we have the use of gas as a means of developing and visualizing these Latin prints. This is Rubino Gawi, and thank you very much.